Okay. Dang. I'm just reading this. Trying to find low key looking at this freaking Quantic Dreams crap. Man, fuck David Cage. Where? I haven't played a lot of it. Sorry, I'm just getting back to you on that. But no, I haven't played a lot of Legend of Terra. Maybe because I don't know where to start on it. I should definitely probably look into it more. Change over. One thing I need to do is definitely get an overlay. What's this? Yeah, okay. Is that all of the reprints? Okay, you know, it's fine. What did it say was in the actual stream? The actual stream thing to begin with. Okay. Alright, let me one last thing we can get started here. Alright, let's start. What's up, y'all? It's been a minute since I actually streamed. Had some weird ass issues with the internet. Kind of still do, but it's still for most parts basically just completely stable. So I don't really have that. So I actually stream again without it being going crazy. I can at least do this, right? Whether I stream actual games will take a minute. Still some things to figure out. Also, thank God this a USB adapter is working still, so I'm getting there. But let me check studio mode because I need to work on the capture. Here we go. Okay, we're good. That's not what I wanted. Let's go back to the print screen. But definitely, another thing was that work was effectively just was so. To say work so far has been messy would be an understatement. What has effectively been has been nothing but people just can't do their jobs right. So people just can't get their jobs right. So I'm having to fix a bunch of stuff and do extra things that shouldn't be happening. That grown folks should at least know what to do. Had had to reorder something because they sent the wrong thing. And it wasn't like, oh, it was like, oh, this is close, but it's being, no, it was a whole different like piece that doesn't fit anything. So I had to have it reordered. It's probably gonna take until Monday to get here again, because it took until Monday when they said, oh, it's gonna be overnight. They ordered it on Wednesday, came on Tuesday actually. And it was the wrong thing anyway, because Monday was Memorial Day. Sometimes just wonder, like, why people just can't get things right. But anyway, enough about my my terrible life. Let's talk about let's just talk about some random stuff. Let's talk about the stuff I missed, which kind of starts with let's see, is it right here? Yeah, here it is. Which is the producer's letter. I'm gonna be honest, I hadn't read it until I'm gonna be honest, I was listening to Chris talk about his stream while I was driving, so I have like a very very baseline introduction of what it is, but I have my own like personal like opinions of it. Let me just see if I can. How's the sound on it? I think sounds pretty okay, just a little bit lower. But other than that, so this is the second producer's letter from Mori. And inside it is definitely some stuff that is very important. And let me tell you right now, this man has definitely done everything he can to try and like change the mentality of all of the crap we've gone through the past 10 years. Let me tell you right now, I still do not remember the name of the old producer. That should tell you right there how much he was a non-factor. 10 years, I can't remember the dude's name. I don't think he ever showed up on stream except a few times. The one time I saw him was like last year when he had to apologize for the restriction list that happened so very close after Gurgwood. Shimamura? Was it Shimamura? Well, regardless, the man by the end of it was some trash. I'm just gonna be real with you. He did not do his job as effectively as I think he needed to be. So that's unfortunate, and definitely would be like, yeah, you need to go, dude. But producers. So I've heard Chris just talk about it. He was streaming. I think he's still streaming, but I was like, I just gotta do something because Friday is gonna be anime day, and then Saturday and Sunday are Spring Fest for V Premium and Standard. So I definitely want to just watch that. I will talk about the Premium tournament later, because I have, oh my god. For the most part, we talk about this. So, you know, he does the introduction. You know, hello, this is the Vanguard Project's general producer. The response to my first producer letter was greater than I ever anticipated, and since then I've been receiving comments and questions from all over the world. Thank you so much to everyone who has shared their thoughts and opinions. I'll be making great use of your feedback moving forward. Okay, good. Some of these topics in the letter are listed in a different order depending on the language you're reading. This time we'll focus on Japanese and English versions, which are a basis for localization in many languages. So basically everything else. So the start deck release and the first booster pack. First of all, on behalf of the project, I would like to thank you for allowing us to bring Overdress to the world. I would like to thank everyone who watched the series around the world, everyone who enjoys the TCG and digital versions of Vanguard, and everyone involved in supporting the project. The Vanguard Overdress animation began in April, and the Japanese version of the start decks and booster packs were released in April, followed by the English version in May. Although the response has been varied by region, the game has been well received around the world. We will thank everyone for support. Okay, that's good to hear, that everyone's just like, okay. Among the many concerns we received about the old Vanguard TCG product, the most common were that the games experienced too much power creep and that new products were too short-lived. In light of these comments, Overdress has changed the game system from a clan-based system to a nation-based system, and the first Bruiser Pack and 5-star decks have been created with a focus on introducing new players to the game, and as examples are new standard products. Okay, let me start right there. The power creep was never... The issue with power creep was more so just so many of the same clans got so much support around the same time that's like a lot of decks can queue up. So I think, you know, that's more the issue with the clan-based system. With the clan-based system was that just if your character wasn't important in the anime, you weren't getting support, etc., etc. So changing nations, I don't think was exactly the fix, but it was definitely, there was something that needed to happen eventually, like just to get rid of all the amount of support they were just like falling back on, which is always good. As far as reduction of the anime goes, we have already announced season 1, season 2 Overdress until we draw closer to recent season 3. So this is basically the all but confirmation that Overdress will get 3 seasons, which I'll leave it at that. We do not intend to add any new over triggers other than the 5, one for each great nation, that were introduced in the first booster pack, Greatest 5 Greats. Sentinels, also known as Perfect cards, Perfect Guard cards, will receive the same treatment, and we do not intend to release any new Sentinels until further down the line. Although, we will release different versions of the already existing cards with alternate art or alternate foiling. Which, thank God, because... Oh, let me turn this down a bit to me. Actually, I don't like this one as much. It's better. Which, you know, that's really good, because one of the issues with the old Vanguard was definitely, like, we didn't get reprints of Perfect Guards a lot. Especially, like, in V, when every clan had draw PGs, and those draw PGs just like kept spiking and spiking and spiking, because outside the first set they were never reprinted until like other sets. So having alternate art is also reprinting with alternate art or alternate foiling, good, right? If it becomes like a double rare reprint somewhere, like it's a promo or triple rare somewhere down the line, not triple rare, but like, you know, has different artwork, because, you know, every one of the original like 5 artworks were just like dragons, cool design dragons, but they're still dragons, and now everyone's like, oh, I want a dragon as my PG, right? I want like amazing demon Perfect Guard or some version of a waifu. You know, some people want the deck to correlate with the aesthetic of the nation or their specific deck. So I think saying straight up like, hey, we will release like functional reprints of the cards, you know, already means like there's going to be reprints of these. There is going to be reprints of the Overtrigger and the Sentinels, either as functional reprints or like different rarities, which already better than what we had in the past. Here. The manager team's intention is for the main units and triggers used by the main characters in the animation to continue to be an important part of deck building. Even after the second season of Overdress begins airing, the 5-star decks in the first booster pack are intended to be the most important and basic products for getting into Overdress series card fights. We hope you enjoy them. So basically, set 1 is going to be the basis for every set going forward in the future, which is perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with that. The Overdress series is launched during a period where it's difficult to get together with others, which we believe is the most important and fun part of enjoying card games. We are continuing to adapt to this landscape through trial and error, and we appreciate all the feedback we have received during this period. We ask for your support as we continue to develop and improve, and would like to apologize for the delay in delivery of the English version of this product to some regions due to logistical issues. Alright, that's fine. Everything's fine. Oh boy. Second one, and it's already a doozy. Alright, here we go. So, encounter cards. When these were announced, everyone lost their collective minds. I won't even lie and say, like, oh, I was perfectly fine. Like, even I was like, I literally screamed, hell no, on sight. in a Discord call when I was watching the stream. I'm like, hell no, you can't be serious. But eventually I kind of just like gave up. I'm like, you know what? It's fine. There's nothing really. It's fine. Like, especially like, as more information came through, so it wasn't as big a deal as it had felt originally. But it still felt weird. So let's read this part. At the Bushiroad TC Strategy Conference, held on May 12th, we announced a second booster pack, A Brush for the Legends, and received a variety of opinions. Oh, y'all did. From around the world regarding use of Senate of counter cards. Excuse me. Y'all definitely did exceed a variety of opinions. Prior to the presentation, we published a series of stories titled Elderly Densetsu to no Kaiko on the Written Work site. As described the stories, brushes with these ancient legendary beings, which are made manifest by certain artifacts, are called encounters. As we established a new reading site and published a chronology of the setting, we are currently focused on systematic storytelling based on historic continuity of Planet Crane in its various settings. Right? Like, having more stories is fine. There's nothing wrong with having times you just be like, let's just talk about, let's just add some more history, right? It's been 3,000 years in between G and now, so why not have some more storylines about it? The most common question we have received is, why did you make encounter cards? And the answer is, we want to preserve the setting and historical continuity of Planet Crane. It is our intention to continue to employ the help of the original author, Akira Ito, and the creator of the clan settings, Satoshi Nakamura, Yuhoro. I don't know what that means. I feel like I should know what it means, but to systematize the world view, history, and various settings of Planet Crane, and we continue to take good care of them. Not only myself, but also the entire management team has received a number of comments about past cards appearing too early, and we take it very seriously. Oh, they definitely did. I know, like, I remember the stream, from Maury's Q&A, I think 2 weeks ago, he talked about, like, he had received a bunch of comments from people around the world, and like some of them basically cussed him out because they came through. And he definitely took note of that. First off, don't cuss out the people who doing all the good work for you. That makes them not want to do good work. So definitely, it was definitely like a lot of people. In terms of like the talk of the past cards playing too early, I kind of agree with it, because for them to be as early as set 2 felt kind of counterproductive to what everyone felt was the goal of Overdress, which was, we're moving on. We spent 7 years in the original series up to G, but we have to get in. He put the bad red dragon and black dragon back into the game. No, I mean, we can be upset. We can't go on his Twitter and cuss him out, call him words and stuff like that. Even after all the stuff he had done, right? Like the encounter cards are one of the few blemishes on Overdress up to this point. Outside of that, it's been pretty dope. But I don't think we need to But the PTSD that flared when these two showed up, when you saw Nahalem on screen, and these two pop up on screen without really knowing what he said because it's in Japanese, and they were talking about the Japanese format, and our only stance on how to translate all this is Different Fight talking like in the middle of a stream where he himself has to listen. He's translating, but he's not he's still trying to get hyped, still trying to figure out things as well. We had so much misinformation early, not blaming him, but I'm saying it was definitely something. Alright, so as I mentioned at the presentation, it will be quite rare for the Overdress series to include past cards as encounters, and they will not appear again until at least March 2022. I cannot tell you if new encounter cards will come out once a year or once every few years because that would be a spoiler, but I can tell you that they will be few and far in between. Additionally, encounter cards will not be an exception to the overriding principle that you do not need any cards over triple rare to build an Overdress standard deck. Okay, so basically saying we're still not making VRs or anything. These are still basically just triple rares. You don't need any hype cards to build these decks. You're good. Although not directly. So, let me recheck that real quick. So basically, he's saying he can't tell us if they're once a year or once a few years. They will be at least once a year, but as for once every few years, that tells me they had excuse me, that they at the very least planned this a couple years in advance for counter cards and for lore stories and probably something in the anime if it comes to it to eventually come through. But you're not seeing them all the time, basically how we did with G, where it's we got it basically a nostalgia upgrade for a clan once every set. Every time you saw Gold Paladins, Liberators got support. Every time you saw Angels at times, Celestials got some support. At some point, Blasters kept getting support. Overlord always got support. Every time, almost every dang time. I think set 3 was the only time Overlord didn't get any support. And that's just because set 3 for Kagero was just Though I did love the set 3 cards because I built I already told the story about building a $30 Kagero deck with Steel Dragon Blockade and OG Dragon Gold Lord, and just smacking my friend who was playing I think a fully built Time Loop deck at that time. Because he just couldn't. He in his brain just malfunctioned, which is funny. Ban over triggers. We'll get to that, Matt. We'll get to that. Alright. Although not directly related to encounters, I received a lot of feedback about the stride mechanic, which I briefly touched on in producer Q&A on Vanguard Weekly Bites. Which I also wish. I don't know if they translated the Q&A. I need to probably check that out. If they did. I'll probably look at that real quick. Just have that open. Within the lore, Stride, the signature mechanism of the G series, was a way to borrow great power from the past or future that was unavailable. In the present time. Stride dealt with the past and future, so it makes sense that these units would exist at different points at the same timeline, right? For those of you who love the history of the Vanguard units in the world of Planet Clay, please take some time to read the Planet Clay timeline and Satoshi Nakamura's commentary on the official reading site, which I should probably look at too. I haven't really read the official English site. Some of the things we foreshadowed will soon come to fruition, while others will reappear in the future, perhaps after everyone has forgotten them. In a sense, the counter cards currently stand out a bit too much, but there are also cards included to strengthen the units that will give life to the new Chakravarti Divine era. So I hope we look forward to second booster similar continuation of Start Decks in Booster Pack Volume 1. And, you know, he's kind of right. Like, the counter cards do stand out a bit much, but up to now, there hasn't been anything that straight up said, oh, here's Overlord support, or here's Phantom Blaster Dragon support. Everything has been either generic stuff for Bruce, or stuff for like the main characters, or stuff for the other like main like start decks, or stuff for the other ride decks. Everything else has just been generic, or kind of either locked specifically to the 1 to 10 ride lines, or they skew towards one, but you can put them in the other. So like he's right about that. It's like, while the kind of cards stand out, and I wish they kind of like, I do kind of think they should have like held out on a little bit longer. I kind of like have come to the way, but they haven't like gotten to the point where there's been like, here's Overlord support, and just skewed Nirvana and Eugene away, or here's Phantom Blaster Dragon support, but have skewed away Bruce and what's his name? Hexaorb. So it's good. How you doing, Terrymon? Let's see. So, you know, the counter cards definitely, when they were originally released, were definitely a controversy, but I think we've kind of come off of that. So next section is development difference for Nation Fight and Clan Fight between language versions. I don't remember much about this one, and it's kind of like a shorter one. Recently, at the Strategy Conference in Japan, we announced the release of V-Clan Collection. Thank you for the follow, Terrymon. Volume 1 and V-Clan Collection Volume 2 as our upcoming V Premium products. The concept behind these new products is to strengthen all 24 clans at the same time, and all the enclosed cards will be marked with the V icon. The V-Clan Collection will also be available in English, but will be released in fall. In the English version, we're playing a product called Revival Selection for release in the summer, which includes reprinted cards to support the premium format environment. As of now, we only plan to produce Revival Selection for the English version of the game, so it's, you know, currently only for English. JP probably won't get it for a while, and considering I have a spoiler for what happens later, and considering what it says in there, yeah, I kind of think they deserve to not get anything for a while because of what happens. I have some thoughts on that. The product will focus on cards limited supply in the English version, as well as cards that exist in Japanese version, but not in the English version. For more information about these products, please look forward to our future announcements on the official Twitter and our social network platforms. We will get to that. For the time being, there will be differences in development for clan fights depending on the language version. The differences in the above products are a good example of this. It is not realistic to immediately integrate these long-existing formats, and while we believe that product like Revival Section would exist to bridge the gaps in development will be necessary for a while. Regarding newly launched Nation Fights, we are aiming for globally synchronized development, focusing on 5 great nations and lyrical model stereo. I'm doing fine, actually. It's the first stream I've actually done in a minute, so I'm just kind of like getting back in the swing of things. Just talking about the producer's letter, because I have some interesting thoughts on that. Let's see. So, Nation Fight collaboration products. We received many questions about the English version of collaboration titles that have already been announced in the Japanese version. We will make an official announcement on this matter at the English Bushiroad TCC Strategy Conference, Bushiroad English Conference 2021 summer. We apologize for the delay, but please wait until then for further information, which I don't think we've gotten a confirmation of the date for that. So we know it's in summer, so it'll probably be after Springfest. I think maybe in July, maybe August. So it is kind of like a question like what is gonna happen with them. Can I see the so So now looking at the product schedule. Let me look at the product schedule quick. So June, the Fest collection, June 25th. This I would okay. So a little small thing for like anybody. If you're watching this late, uh, get some, buy some festival collection as fast as you can, because I have some knowledge. You pretty much need this. So July, Brush for Legends will be July 23rd. This is the only product we have so far for July and August. I don't know when the English presentation is gonna happen, but that's coming. All right, sorry about that. Hold on, just a second. Sorry about that. My brother needs something real quick. So we won't know anything about August until we know when that English strategy meeting is. So September will be revival selection. September 3rd early, so that's like really quick. Then the lyrical trial deck. I love how they still don't have a logo for it. Just ahoy, lyrical monster. And then the booster, and then Connection 1 and 2 will be in October. November will be Booster Pack 3. December will be the next start deck, which will feature a character from Season 2, which I'm pretty interested in, because I believe that is the character they've been hinting that that the voice actor they got will be important there. And in January will be the 5 Great Niche will be Booster Pack 4. So we'll probably know about these two around September. So that's something. But you know, I'm really interested in like what's gonna happen to the collabs. So when that happens, the things, and then the V collection and Rob section, good products that need to happen anyway. Okay. So on to this next section, VR reprint protection for V Premium format. For a certain period of time, specifically until December 31st, 2022, we will not be including VRs, which are Vanguard rare cards, in our new products. We are implementing this period of reprint protection because we want to present an indicator for future card supply demand to both the stores who continue to support free premium products as well as all the fighters who continue to play this format. The VR reprint protection applies to both the Japanese and English versions. However, it does not apply to some languages with large time differences in their release dates, such as Thailand and Italian. So, in case you don't know, Thailand actually jumped to Thailand and Italian both have their own separate formats from English and Japan. You know, they have the English cards or the Japanese cards, depending where they are, but they also have their own individual formats. So they can actually, because they just got two around like V and stuff, they can in fact reprint those cards. And they're not by like this VR reprint protection. Whereas Japan and English, which have been basically on the line, are stuck there. My thoughts on that is, I understand. I feel like they're only doing this primarily because of what happened at the tail end of V, where a lot of these hold on, let me take this real quick. Excuse me. Where a lot of the all the old sets like VBTO, was it 8, 9, 10, and onwards, had so many like issues that a lot of that product just never got bought because people either quit because they were like, this game is been too power crept, or they weren't able to move the stock as much as they thought they were going to. So having like a protection thing means that these whatchamacallit. Oh damn. What's up, guys? How you doing? Well, thanks guys for damn, I can't even get you. I can't even take anything. Let's see. Well, dang, I can't even like take. Let's see. Thanks, Matt. Dang, why can't this darn thing read? Thanks, Greengrass. Dark Alex, Hongwai, Moeta, Matt, Different Fight himself. Well, anyway, thank all y'all for coming out. I appreciate it. I hope y'all had fun with the Chris's stream. I'm just here kind of like giving my own thoughts on the producer's letter, because I just wanted to kind of like get that out. I haven't been able to like straight up talk about it I haven't been able to talk about anything for like a while because just so much stuff has happened. So I'm just kind of going through like past things I wasn't able to catch up on. So I was just talking about the reprint protection for V Premium, and I was like, it's definitely like something that sucks, but considering how V was at the end where they couldn't really move as much product, they need definitely to like let that happen. So I'm definitely like I definitely agree with that. So next is development of the Japanese edition. So when we recently announced that we would be strengthening our support for the global development of the game, some of our loyal Japanese fighters asked if we be neglecting our expansion and support in Japan. We would like to respond to these concerns. We will continue to develop the Japanese version with the same attention and care, and our desire for Japanese customers to continue enjoying our game has not changed. Although we are increasing our international efforts, the project is still based in Japan, and Japan is still where Vanguard originates. We will certainly remember our origins, and we aim to move forward while supporting all of our fans here in Japan and around the world. Incidentally, we're sometimes asked, why do you want to expand globally? The first reason is that Vanguard has a large number of fans overseas, and we receive a great deal of support from these fans. We believe that we owe them our support in return. In addition, by expanding further into the international market, we're able to maintain the scale of our brand and continue to invest in development and operation of the project. This enables us to improve the quality and scope of the content we provide, animation, card games, and our projects, and it is our sincere desire to do so. In my personal opinion, I also think increased international shipping projects such as Vanguard is just the way of the times. And I completely agree. That is very important, because you can't just be stuck in one. That is so very important. Our global father, yes, he is doing work that I really, I can't be more appreciative of this man actually doing what should have been done years ago. And I do say though, the fact, isn't it kind of like weird that he had to even answer this. The fact that he had to even address this to me feels kind of weird. That could just be me, because it seems like just logical, right? Like, if you want something to expand, you don't just want it to be stuck in one place, but you want everyone to you want everyone to like enjoy something. It's mainly because of JP people blowing up about it. Yeah, I guess so. Like, if it's that should also kind of like be like, if that much like backlash, or like not backlash, but rather like discussion was coming up with the JP players about like, why do you want to expand globally? Well, it feels weird that that's even a thing, right? But definitely it definitely is. It is a way at times. It shouldn't just be stuck with it shouldn't just be stuck in one country, right? Yu-Gi-Oh didn't become one of the big three. Yu-Gi-Oh didn't become one of the big three just because it was only in Japan. It became one of the big three because it had an anime that was widely popular in multiple regions. And then Pokemon didn't become a big three because it was just in JP. It became part of Big Three because it was expanded globally. It blew up. Things. Vanguard never really did that. Yes, it had its English dub on YouTube. It had the card game released, everything, but it didn't really extend more than just like all the other side stuff, right? Like the video games never released in English. Events that never really happened in English. We still had issues with promos. We still had issues with Western advertising. It is kind of dumb. It is kind of dumb that people felt like it I wouldn't say dumb, but I would say somewhat ignorant. No, ignorant doesn't seem like the right word for it. But it definitely is, it definitely is kind of like, it should have been, it's something so easy to understand that, the fact that they had to ask that, and the fact that he had to respond to that, while good, because it's clearing the air and getting that information out there, still feels kind of like a moot point. Like, any business person would be like, yeah, we need to expand globally. Like, people talk about people talk all the time about freaking we want to be as big as Yu-Gi-Oh! Why can't Vanguard be as big as Yu-Gi-Oh! Or the big three? And then when they finally make the push to do it, and people having that kind of pushback against it, it seems kind of contradictory, But that's just me. And it's not just the JP people, right? Like, Chris, I kind of came in at the end of, kind of like a little bit when I was watching your stream a bit, when you were talking about this section right here. It was like at the tail end of it. But you were talking about how, like, JP players were kind of like pushing back over the freaking, over the fact that English kind of got the cards revealed earlier, like 30 minutes earlier than, like, JP players. And it kind of goes both ways. It kind of goes both ways, because when that was happening, when they were like revealing cards early, only for them to reveal it in JP anyway, I saw a pushback from English players being like, well, why did we get this card early when we could have just got it 30 minutes later, and we were gonna do the usual, let's translate it anyway. It felt like this weird thing of like, wait, so y'all hating because we're actually they're trying to do something different. Like, I saw this, and I'm calling some people out on it, because it's like, it is very contradictory. It's like, we've been asking them, why can't they help support English? Why can't they help do things? Like, when they finally do it, you're complaining just because it wasn't the big thing you wanted. It's like baby steps, people, baby steps. We need to get to a point where we can, like, do things, right? Like, every time they release things and then they put it on the Japanese site and whatnot. It's like, one, that's it's not like when all y'all did the freemium collection. Card games or geopolitics? No. No, apparently they didn't send the memo out to a Twitch channel with 37 followers, which, by the way, thank all y'all who followed. I still didn't get all y'all, but again, thank y'all for following. and a YouTube channel with 3 subscribers. Like, no, they didn't send that to me. They didn't send that memo. Like, it's a card game. Why are we're out here just straight up being upset over who gets what first, especially even though it's basically gonna come eventually. Like, you're gonna get these cards eventually. Just at least be happy. Why can't y'all just be happy? Y'all hating for no reason. It just seems so dumb. It just seems so dumb, and and that stuff needs to stop. Otherwise, we ain't gonna grow. Like, again, like people said, we want Vanguard to be in the tops. But if we keep on being baby rage about it, we ain't going to get there. So again, so now let's move on. Future events. Imagine the pushback for. I'm not gonna respond to that. So Japanese domestic events. For the second year in a row, we were not able to hold the Daivenga site at a real venue in Japan. There is a big gap between countries and regions in terms of measures taken against the spread of infection, as well as vaccination status. And so for the time being, we must plan events flexibly and take into consideration conditions and needs of each region. Regarding the holding of events for the Japanese version of the game within Japan, excuse me, that's so it's hidden. There are different measures in place for each prefecture, including the declaration of state of emergency in some areas. However, even this situation, we are still preparing and considering how to restart the VMC and other events at the appropriate time. Although we cannot disclose the details this time, understandable, know that we are working closely with our hosting parents, where did I get that? To plan the release of these events. We will also be working on events that can be held on a regional basis, such as the previously announced Kyushu Cup. In addition to the card fights, we are planning to have events and projects for fans of the animation as well, keeping in mind the times. As of now, we have started to deliver the anime radio project, Yoro no Enai Hoso. Please give it a listen. We have also announced the Vanguard Overdress Fans Party as the E Plus Living Room Cafe in Dain Shibuya, Tokyo. At the fans party, Hikaru Tono, Tamari Seto, and Amane Shindo Megami Okura will be broadcasting a program for the site on Wednesday, June 9th, so even those who can't make it to the event can enjoy it. As for English, we have realized the situation varies from region to region and is quite diverse. Just by taking a quick look at the reposts on social networking sites regarding the launch events for the English version of Genesis of the 5 Grades last weekend, I found that some events were online tournaments using Discord, some were in-store events, and some were real events that attracted over 100 people. Real events with over 100 people. I can only hope that the infection rates continue to come under control in more and more places. Considering all this, I think that Spiritual Road being first online in English is a very meaningful experiment. The fact that fighters from all over the world, even from different time zones, can play at the same time is a unique feature of the online era. But it's also important to note that it is based on the premise that everyone will behave in a sports-like manner. In terms of the competitive scene, we will be monitoring this event and conducting a questionnaire survey on the future of the premium format, which is attracting a lot of attention in the English-speaking world. Let's see. So, Japanese edition overseas events. There's a wide variety of overseas events for the Japanese version. In the Southeast Asian region, online tournaments and events are on the rise. And in the Chinese-speaking world, we've been happy to hear that the satellite venues for the Daivenga Festival, an offline event, were very crowded. We introduced the concept of satellite host cities for the Daivenga site, and I hope everyone enjoyed it. That's... Hey. I definitely think the fact that that's really good. The fact that he's like been looking and it's like, you know, he's been looking on Twitter. The man uses Twitter and actually does research, which I'm grateful for. Like I said, like the fact that I couldn't remember Shimamura's name was a big testament to me of like how I felt at the tail end of his tenure as producer. How I felt like he kind of wasn't really there. Mori has definitely shown like he is here. He is watching, even if he doesn't say anything. So the afterward. How was the second producer's letter? As we waited for the release of the first Overdressed Booster Pack in both Japanese and English, 3 months passed in what felt like no time at all. I apologize for the wait and thank you for your patience. Once again, I would like to express my sincere gratitude for your support during the release of Vanguard Overdress. Thank you so much. I hope you continue to support Vanguard. I look forward to seeing your comments, questions, criticisms, encouragement, and anything else you'd like to share. General Producer, Kitamori. Yeah, it shows that he definitely cares. And I think when we get to the next section of this whole discussion, it shows that yeah, he does care, and this new team is trying, as opposed to what felt like the old team was just kind of going through the motions. And so when they effed up so royally that we had things that we didn't really have in any version of the game up to that point. In G or in original, like nothing went as crazy as what happened when we had effectively like 3 ban lists from the span of 6 months. I think. I'm not entirely sure. Don't quote me on that. Do not quote me on that. But it definitely is like, yeah, I wish that would have been better. So now on to that's the project schedule. Let me see. Can I find the weekly bites? Let me do a check. When did he put the when did he say the original? Let's see. Let me double check when he did the this certain period. When did he say he did the Q&A? I forgot what day it was. I'll have to look for it. Dang. Was it this one? I don't think it was that one. Is that 8 or either 8 or 9? Let's see. So there's a talk show. That is definitely lore stuff. What's relation? I think it was this one, right? Hey Spec, how you doing? Was it this set? Oh yeah, I didn't even talk about lyrical. I guess it's something we can talk about here. Nope, I don't think they translated the actual I don't think they translated that. Aw. I wanted to like go through and see if they had like put his Q&A on the actual site, because that'd actually be pretty dope. But you know, these things do actually have some things I missed since the last discussion. So let's start with episode 8 and the you know, I think this is when they announced the encounter cards and they announced the years officially being like placed on cards. Man, yeah, they didn't translate it. Dang, I really wanted to. I really hope they at least put it in there. That'd been pretty nice, right? Just for him to like, just to have that there. So, Lyrical Monsterio was announced. They haven't gotten the. They still haven't made the logo for the trial deck, but they have the booster ready. So Lyrical Lily is the ambassador. Q-Day is free content, definitely. It's like, so the information Lyrical Monsterio, I kind of want to read that just yet. Yeah, so the trial deck art It's all right. You can definitely tell it's a you can definitely tell that's an old style Bermuda Triangle artwork. Uh, I definitely kind of I definitely do like the and then this is the concert outfit illustrations. So this is definitely more of the old school Bermuda Triangle era type of thing. You know, here's the grade zeros and the one, two, three, the right lines. It's all right. Nothing to write home about, but Kyrie, who's Kyrie? Oh, the middle one. Um, yeah, she's cute. I think the redhead looks a little bit better to me. Wait, is let's see if I'm remembering correct. The left. Hold on, can I see one of the old ride lines? Festival collection. Let's see. Does it have info for the festival collection? Let me double check something. We'll have the artwork for. Yeah, the left is the heal and the right is usually the crit trigger. So this is the crit and this is the heal. And you know that's the starter. Huh. Interesting. But so it's okay. The art I could, you know, it's fine. I haven't really found like a good art personally that just like says screams, yeah, this is dope. So the lyrical melody, the official announcement, uh they have Yu on there, and they have the other four. Yeah, I didn't notice that, but I'm just like I just not noticed that. 'Cause I'm like, huh. Excuse me. It definitely is interesting. So, the four other right lines, which we have Lornero. That's definitely a name. Loro. I'm just gonna call it Loro. That's it. Loro, Willista, which she's the human, which is weird. Like I know this is kind of like a hairstyle, but she kind of though she Willista looks more like kind of like a bear hybrid. That's just me though. Clarissa is the Dragonroid, and Rosa is the vampire, which I guess she definitely looks like something. And then the ORR concert outfit, Esperanza and Grizel, I think that's how you do it. And then Mysterious Twins, Romeo and Rumia. So I think there's three? Hmm. Oh, ORRs have the same ability. I didn't even see that down there. So it's just one of the later stream cards showed 649. Yeah, I think it should be like episode 9 or 10, but that definitely is interesting. I never saw this like thing here. It's like ORRs have the same art. So these are the over triggers, but they have the same ability. So it's just different. So they're all functional reprints, just different artworks. So I have a feeling like this one right here is pretty much the one in the center is just gonna be like the most money, and then this is probably gonna be the second money because it's Clamp, and then this is probably the third cheapest. So then V Clan Collection got announced, and you know V Standard and it's supposed to be Premium and V Premium, but I think they just messed up because it's currently technically Standard and V Premium eventually, which will have Royals, OTT, Genesis, Kagero, Kumo, Norokami, DP, Spikes, Pale Moon, Bermuda, Aqua Force, Megas. My only issue with this entire thing is that this is literally a new unit again. Like, like Loris just does not exist. I'm not even a big Loris fan, but I'm just like, man, y'all are doing everything in your power to just make sure Loris just never comes back, huh? Loris does not exist in this franchise anymore. Otherwise, Thing Saber, which is the Vanguard Zero artwork, and in a alternate art, a new Giraffa. Kind of weird, but I understand. Giraffa's kind of cool. And then Loris is a myth. Apparently, she got. You know what? Might be an artist issue. Probably. I don't know who's Loris's artist, because that could be something there. It's definitely interesting. So Clan Section Volume 2 has Angel, Shadows, Golds, Nubatama, Tachis, Nova Grappler, Link Joker, DI, Gears, Grand Blue, Great Nature, Neo Nectar, and has Raging Form, which I think this is my favorite Raging Form artwork. This is definitely my favorite Raging Form artwork, just because it's much more dynamic. I forgot it was this Core Glare. Regardless, but I think, that's definitely a Aglavale right there. In fact, it kind of looks like a squashed down version of the Vanguard Zero artwork. Kind of just like put there. It's cute, definitely, but it's like, interesting. And then I think that is the Musketeer, one of the Musketeer Legions, if I'm correct. Which now that I'm noticing, like I never knew that they use katanas. So that's definitely something new that like I don't think I ever noticed. Vera? Yeah. I never noticed that Vera used twin katanas. So that's definitely something. So that's definitely something different. I appreciate it. So, and then the heal triggers were important there, and a reminder that keep your start deck stuff. So let's move on to episode 9. I think it's 9. Yeah, it's 9. Another update. I don't think this one this was not it. Okay, so this one didn't just tell everything, but gave the official like English lore sites live. It still doesn't tell anything about the other ride line, which is interesting. And then the Zorga cards, which are pretty dope. I think it should be episode 10. Yeah, here we go. Episode 10. Episode 10 has all the reprints of clan selection. So Fencing Sword. I don't know if Fencing Sword has. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I guess. So, Vanguard Zero, Lukier for English. So, next is the Heal Guardians. Man, the Heal Guardians are something, huh? They are simultaneously like a good idea and both a bad idea currently. Right? A good idea, if you have like a grade 3, if you're lesser than a grade 3, you basically kind of like survive until grade 3, or if you went second, you're not just immediately killed if you just don't write grade 3 first. So you can survive and everything. I think the first skill is really good. I don't know if it's worth losing the extra 5k shield, but that normal heal triggers had, but it's definitely like something really good. Is it a Nightmare Doll? Well, good for Nightmare Dolls. Y'all actually got more stuff that you can do. So power plus 10,000 in a turn, Choose when your opponent's unit gets -2 crit till end of battle. I love how they didn't even just put a crit logo, it's just a star. Just a regular star. This one, the second ability is what had some people upset because it's effectively when placed on rear circle from hand, if your damage zone is 0 cards, put a card in the damage zone. Which, you know, is basically saying like you can no longer damage deny. And I saw Solemn's video. How you doing, Cypher GZ? I saw Solemn's video when he was talking about because the Heal Guardians existed, Hwang is not really as needed. I still think you should probably well, that's good to hear. I still think you should probably get rid of Hwang because I think this has more nuance than Hwang does. Because Hwang effectively just makes it so you can't damage deny at all, whereas this at least says like, while you can't damage, like you could still damage deny turn 1 and 2, meaning that they don't just pop off immediately, right? Turn 3 onwards, the game should have either you as the opponent could have stabilized, or okay, well fine, they have to move slower. I think this is this is probably a better version of what Hwang was trying to do, but I think they finally got it more correctly here. I kind of still don't like it because it still makes those other cards like pop off, but there's something there. I think there's something that could be done now. If there's an argument for against it, like I'd love to hear it, because I'm not really as knowledgeable as premium as I used to be, so that's unfortunate. But I definitely think overall it's a net positive for V Premium. I think it says something that Premium will probably get, like, there's about to be a red wedding coming soon, so hopefully that does something. So you know how it works. I kind of already read this. This isn't really important to me. What's important to me now is all the reprints and clan selection 1. For example, I don't remember what this gray one did, but there's definitely some. What the? I just now noticed that some of these cards aren't even translated into English, though these are the promos, so they probably don't have an English version yet. But first off, reprinting the grade 3 fodders, great idea. Straight up, like, fantastic. As back in G, like, you could never reprint the strike fodders enough. And now definitely this is so much better for the grade 3 searchers because it helps so much with keeping the format cheaper and everything. And also I definitely like having like cards are definitely used a lot be giving rarity bumps, because it means like it keeps the old version cheaper while also making the also getting like a one for like people who like max Rainier decks, a reason to get into the set. Like Sorcerer Creole right here. This card is really good for premium. So having this get a rarity bump is good. This is another grade D searcher. It isn't used as much, if at all, but it still was pretty important like early. So I think giving this a rarity bump is nice. I think they could have put something else in there. But this, I don't know what they would have placed for Burning Horn. That's mostly just I've kind of fallen off Kagero. Tor Cannon, good reprint. I like it. Tetramagus, good reprint for OTT. Oh yeah, I don't know about Lucius getting a rarity bump, unless like something that unless like Thingsaber really needs Hard Soul. Oh wait, no, Thingsaber is gonna do what he does. So you know what? While I don't see it right now, I definitely see like this coming important later. As for the second wave, that was the second one, right? As for the rest of them, Murakumo is the Murakumo D-Police. Just about everything here is a pretty nice reprint. I think the only issue with Spike Brothers is because, again, Grady Searchers, value. Murakumo is a hard plus because since they can't reprint the VRs, reprinting Shiryuki, who should have reprinted last time, but getting a reprint now is good. Hyudo getting a Rarity bump is good because that card is still fire. It's very important for Hyuga and Yuki. Sho getting a reprint, I think that this was announced before the rival selection stuff. That's cool, but I think it's still fine. Still pretty important and premium, I guess. And I think this is gonna be good for I forgot what this card did. I didn't really look at the last wave Narukami stuff. But I think this is fine. D-Police, I don't know what, I haven't really played Dice Cooper, so that's on me. But Brad Black getting another reprint and potential for another SP, already good. You can never have this card be reprinted that much. And the only issue with the Spikes reprints is that Spikes aren't that expensive because they were part of the Luard fiasco. So they aren't as expensive, but still these are pretty important for the Rising Nova deck anyway, so it's good to have them. And the last of Volume 1 being Midnight Bunny and see, I forget which one it was. Having this promo. Hold on, wait a second. Give me a second. I thought I saw. Wasn't that the promo that was just announced for Pale Moon? Yeah. Oh wow. It's getting reprinted twice. It's getting printed twice. But it'll probably be here before reselection, so excuse me. It's not Laura's fault the unpopular was so popular. I mean, it's not that they were unpopular, which they were, but it's also that Luar was so just better than all three of them combined. That hurt. So, they were better than all three of them combined. So it's kind of like, it is kind of his fault, but not. It isn't his fault. So, yes, I'll put some blame on him. So we're going to. So Masquerade Bunny, this is a really good card. I don't know about Midnight Bunny, but I giving a Rarity bump isn't half bad too. Then again, I don't think we know what the Pale Moon card is gonna be, so that's actually interesting. For Bermuda, Aqua's really good. Send is really good. Generic, getting the Searcher, and then when it attacks Vanguard, your Fireward guards in K. It's a rarity bump because this was in the trial deck, so it's just basically just a rarity bump. There's nothing wrong with having a rarity bump of card, especially since we don't know what the next wave's gonna do. So it might actually see play if it's very important in that deck, or if it's like a buff to Highlander or something. So I can't rule it out. What was it? Terrific Coil? Terrific Coil is good. Terrific Coil is very good. Generic. Baragios, Great Searcher, good. I just don't know about this. I think this is probably the worst one on this list, and we haven't gotten the Mech Call yet. But this was a rare, and I don't know if this was worth being reprinted. That's just me. That's just me. I'm not really sure. And in Megas, let's see. Hold on. we go. I actually want to add some things to the playlist while I'm here. Yeah, it's fine. Okay. Is this gonna be good? I don't know. Yeah, it's fine. Okay, so back to the talk. So you know, Grady Searcher, Meg Coley is also like very cheap. So the Grady Searcher, while important, still isn't as like big. This is fine. This is still cheap. Like Megas aren't gonna be like expensive, but it's nice to have reprints regardless. And I think this is the yeah, this is the Cradle Marker. I think this is a common. So this getting a rarity bump is really good for that deck. As for set 2, the Kirgin reprint's good. What's his name? Jafkiel? Jafkiel's good. Scaling Angel, I think it's good. I don't think I've never really seen cared about angels like that in V, so I haven't really focused on whether or not this is good or not. So it might be really good, depending on what Ramiel does. Shadows, Brahmin, obviously, cards in a deck that will forever be relevant because it's Shadows. Leofall getting a rarity bump is pretty good, and it's just good generic. Scaling's fine. Okay, that's good. That's good. I don't want there. And then Blaster Dark's art is getting a reprint. I don't know if it's just like a placeholder, but it's the actual like artwork, which is, I think it's gonna be good because I think having this alternate version is gonna be good. As for golds, Gorbaduck, good card. Rarity bump. I don't know how much prominence, I forget if it's Galera or whatever, will need it, but that's a rarity bump. That's fine. And then Aglavale getting a reprint. Mwah. This card is important. The only other card that probably should have gotten a reprint instead is Percival. I think Percival probably needed a reprint a lot, since you know he's not VR. He's a triple rare, so he's within range. I just don't know if they're thinking maybe Percival doesn't go into the deck, or isn't able to be put in the deck, or whatever. So it's interesting to see what happens there. Let's see. As for Nubatama, Grady Searcher, always good. I don't know. Because it's a new boss, a new mechanic, it's pretty interesting what it's gonna do. So I'm interested in like if this card is really gonna be good. And then this is the promo that Nubatama kind of really needed. So that's good. That's good to have there. Tachi's good reprints. Well, really, like all the this is more Gaia support, kind of like Gauge support, but with Gaia stuff. So it's a question of whether or not what the new Tachi boss does that would support this. So that's a pretty interesting question, what that boss is. As for Nova's, Arashid, again, always good. Cool Hank's a good reprint. It was pretty pricey for, despite being in a set that no one really played in the decks from on a competitive level. Excuse me. And Cat Butler, because Risers are back, so that means we're about to go do some shenanigans. Some shenanigans about to happen with this card. So, and plus this is a card all the way from set 1, so it getting rarity bumped and reprinted, knowing that how good it was, how legendary it was with Risers is pretty telling about what's about to happen. Link Joker, White Dwarf, good. Especially as you're gonna need Infinite Zero to start off plays. Nordstrom, I don't know. Rarity bump, but pretty nice. This is a very, very powerful card for what's it called? Chaos Messiah? Was it Chaos Messiah? Or like the Leader Messiah? I forgot which hybrid it was. It's definitely Messiah, hybrid. So this is good. If OG Caller are about to get the buyout, I don't know. It all depends on what the risers do, right? Because they decide what happens. Excuse me. So this is a card that really needed needed the reprinting or printing earlier, because this is a very, very powerful card for Messiahs. Nordstrom getting Rarity Bump is fine. I don't think, unless like the deck's still combat heavy, I don't really care for it. And again, Great Day Searcher, alright, good. And then DI, Ketzer, getting reprint is fine. I just got a playset of Ketzers from locals. I don't know how good it's gonna be in the deck, since we don't know what its what its main boss unit is yet. But it might be very important. It's very similar to it's a nerf version of original Dimensional Creeper, but it's still pretty nice. So Rarity Bump is good. Reprint Divine Executioner, good. Pretty good card. Second Pure Love, Great Researcher, but then again, the argument is the only argument with Second Pure Love being reprinted is like DI has a lot of Great Researchers, but that's here nor there. I think that's, and the last reprints are Gears, always good. Nabu getting a Rarity Bump is fantastic, because this card is so good. It's so good for the clan. It's always been in the deck in some way. So let's see. This, and gosh dang. And then Smoke Gear getting a reprint effectively kind of confirms, the grade 4 is going to be Chronojet related. We know it's a grade 4. We know there's going to be something there, but it's going to be Chronojet related. It's probably going to be was it Gear Groovy? It's going to be Gear Groovy. It's going to be important there. Grand Blue is a hit out the park. Negrobone's good. Combard's good. Tommy's good. Pabini reprinted, good. That card was pretty expensive. And then Martina and Tor getting reprinted, good, especially if you're gonna need more Musketeers. They both work on Vanguard Rear, so they're very generic in terms of Musketeer stuff. So obviously having them reprinted and ready is a good idea. Mini Belly, cool. This is fine. Probably like a Rarity Bump. And having this promo be playable for Isabel is good. I just hate Great Nature, so I just really say screw it. So I did talk about the LSRs, which are like the, obviously the basic of Bermuda Triangle or Lyrical Monsterio is always having high rarity versions of the bosses. Man, I am really thirsty today. So Loro is singing songs and triggering various kinds of skills. She probably is gonna, just from that alone, I think everyone's kind of theorizing she's gonna be like the Bang Dream iteration. How Bang Dream like was able to play music orders and put them on there. That's perfectly fine. Wilstia, Wilstia has a lot of like nice colors that work really well for artwork. Battling with two kinds of precious stone cards. Let's see to play this. So that's pretty interesting to like kind of think of. Like what does that mean? And then Clarissa, Guiding Firebirds together. You know, I think you can definitely see her tail more in the artwork, so you know she's more of a dragon. Because it kind of just looks like a normal headpiece, but now you can kind of tell more in her arc, in her alternate art, that she's more dragon-like. And this is where they finally revealed the angel ride chain, which is pretty new. So I didn't even talk about what Gary Five Friends Together just kind of seems World Paladin like. Yeah, her art's fine. Like, and then Celestial, I forget, Astra's favorite card. Daedral minus my ice cream. Yeah, she's Neo. If you don't know who that is, just look up Neo from Ruby and bam, there you go. Literally just basically similar design. Ryline's Steam's ability to change the plane on the grade of cards in the bind zone. So she'll more than likely be Gear Chronicle-esque. Or at least the old Gear Chronicle. And then we have Feltirosa. Her normal artwork doesn't have horns. So that's interesting. Like that's definitely like new there. But it's kinda like the so probably is like her at full vampire mode. So she does give up more like a kind of like a 0-2 slash whoever that chick is from Chainsaw Man is. She definitely gives all that feel. So then there's the LSP pack. I don't think I read that, but anyway, there's the I think that's basically everything. Okay. Yeah. Kind of seals up kind of everything I want to talk about right now. Just kind of wanted to catch up on some things and kind of just extreme for first time in 10,000 years because I haven't been able to do that in years. So is on the right one. Okay. So. Oh wait. No. I need to. So. All right. Is there anyone online? Okay. So. Pretty much done here. Thank y'all for coming through. I just wanted to kind of talk about everything. Oh yeah. Oh. I was talking about premium. I kind of said I'm probably just gonna do a video on that later. But again, thank y'all for coming out. I appreciate it. I will probably not stream this weekend because this is a Springfest. So I think it'd be better for all y'all to go and watch Springfest this weekend. So on that note, I'm also going to be working on something that will come out eventually. Probably within the next 2 weeks. It'll be to start something. But on that note, thank y'all for coming out. Let me send y'all the Toku. Like to, because you know he's basically like done that to me multiple times. So might as well just I'll send y'all to him. But I'll see y'all on I'll see y'all probably Tuesday afternoon. Because I'll probably try and like make a concise stream time now because I actually have more time to actually do things. So on that note, thank y'all for coming out. I'll see y'all Tuesday, and y'all enjoy. And y'all just enjoy Springfest. Y'all have fun. And I'll see y'all then. Bye bye. Okay. Okay. So about that, for some reason I can't. Why isn't for some reason not letting me raid his channel? That's interesting. Is he even on? Actually, but did I just like miss him? Hold on. Hold on. Let me see if he's even live. Dang, this is awkward. I know he's even live. He's been on that long, so definitely it's definitely him. Okay, I think got it now. Let's close that out. Oh, this is awkward. Huh. Damn, can't even send y'all there. Why the heck can I not send y'all there? Anyway. Well, anyway, see y'all later. Bye.